Hello viewers, today's topic is free verse, and in contrast with it we will discuss also rhyme and blank verse. So let's start free verse. Before we proceed, look at these lines. The first is a poem, Fog by Carl Sandburg, and as I read, the fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. A very beautiful short poem. Now look at this side on this poem. Stopping by Woods by Robert Frost. These lines have been taken from. My little horse might think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. We can notice easily that in this poem there is no rhyme. And in these lines we have clear, rhyme, queer, near, ear, a, and b. But here we find nothing of this type. So these lines have been written in rhyme, and these are written without any rhyme. These lines have also meter, but these lines don't have any meter. These lines have not been bound in any meter. So when there is a poem without rhyme or without meter, or we can say traditionally strict meter, this poem is called in free verse or free verse poem. Let's discuss the definition. Definition of the free verse. Free verse is a type of poetry that does not contain pattern of rhyme or meter. Does not contain patterns of rhyme and meter. Rhymes A, B, B, A, C, D, C, etc. or the meter, that's a trimeter, tetrameter, pentameter, hexameter. And how meter means how much syllables, in which way the syllable are fixed in line of poetry, that is called meter, the sound unit. So free verse is considered an open form of poetry, as opposed to the poetry written in structure of form and tend to follow natural speech pattern and rhythms. So free verse poem is follow the pattern of natural speech and natural speech spoken rhythm rather than the traditional structure of poetry. How it works, let's discuss. It does not have the steady abstract rhythm of traditional poetry. It does not follow this type of poetry. Its rhymes are based on patterns, elements such as sounds, words, phrases, sentences, paragraphs, rather than on the traditional prosaic unit of metrical feet per line. That in this type of poetry or in this type of poem, there is no strict pattern of meter, that how much a syllable would be in a line, 4 syllable or 5 syllable or 10 syllable. That doesn't follow. It doesn't follow that rule. It creates its effect through using sounds, words, phrases, sentence and paragraphs. So in this way this poem works. History. Now look at its origin and its history. Although The term is loosely applied to the poetry of Walt Whitman, an even earlier experiment with irregular meter. It was originally a literal translation of vers liber, has its origin from vers liber, a French word. The name of movement that originated in France in 1880s. Free verse became current in English poetics in early 20th century. The first English language poet to be influenced by verse liber, notably T. Hume, F. S. Flint, Richard Aldington, Ezra Pound, T. S. Eliot, the students of French poetry. The Imagist movement started in England in 1912 by Aldington, Pound, Flint, Hill Doolittle, St. were concerned with this movement. So we can say the free verse has its origin from vers liber. That was movement in French poetry, and although its earlier example we found in Walt Whitman's poetry or Emily Dickinson's, the French poets, and in English we can say the T.U. Hume, as F. S. Flint, Richard Aldington, Ezra Pound were the famous poet of this form. Now discuss the features of free verse. The free verse poems have no regular meter or rhyme, as we already told. No regular meter or rhyme. They do not follow a proper rhyme scheme. There is no proper rhyme scheme at end, A, B, B, or A, B, B, C, etc., and not have any set rules. This type of poem is based on normal pauses and natural rhythmic phrases. Normal pauses. Poet line, compose line in a way that there is a pause, natural rhythmic phrases, and compared to the artificial contents of normal poetry. It is also called vers liber, as already told, is a French word meaning free verse. Look at these examples. The first one here is from Robert Frost's poem Birches, and as I read, I would like to go by climbing a birch tree and climb blank branches up a snow-white trunk towards heaven till the tree could bear no more, but dip its top and set me down again. That would be good both going and coming back. One could do worse than be a swinger of birches. These lines have been written in blank verse. Blank verse. And what is blank verse? The lines written in meter but without rhyming at end. This is blank verse. That we can see here is no rhyme at end. Tree, trunk, more, again, back, birches. The lines don't rhyme, but these lines have been written in a fixed meter, and these lines are written in pentameter. Pentameter means a line of 10 feet. Feet means a line of 10 syllable, and when this type of line is written without rhyme at end but following the rule of meter, that is called in blank verse. Now look at these lines here. Perhaps you have been on it since you were born and did not know. Perhaps it is everywhere on water and land. These lines are from Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. This was a collection of his poem and written in free verse, that they don't also rhyme at end, been, no, had, lent, but they are written in free verse without any meter. They neither rhyme nor there is meter, so it is called free verse. Now look at this example, the last one, Ode to Autumn by Keats. As I read, season of mist and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of autumn sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round that thatch eaves run. So we have fruitfulness, bless, sun, run, A, B. So it is written in traditional meter and rhyme. So when there is meter and no rhyme, that is called blank verse. When there neither meter nor rhyme, it is free verse. And when there is meter and rhyme, that is traditional poetry of meter and rhyme. Difference between free verse and blank verse, as already is clear. Now read it. While blank verse sound like it could be very similar to the definition of free verse, there is one key difference. What is this difference? Blank verse is written with a strict poetic meter, usually in iambic pentameter, without rhyme at the end of line. So there is one key difference, and what is that difference? It is strict poetic meter, but there is no rhyme at end. Free verse, on the other hand, contains no such adherence to regular rhythm and maintaining an absence of rhyme scheme, and there is no rhyme scheme also. Significance of free verse in literature. Now we discuss. Free verse has been growing trend in poetry over the last 100 years. It became very popular in last 100 years, to the extent that is now difficult to find much contemporary poetry being written in any other format. So the most contemporary poetry of 20th and 21st century is written in free verse. So this is the significance.